Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mentally Queenin podcast. So, today I am going to talk about how to master graduate school. Get it? How to master graduate school. So, I have this handy dandy list of things that I'm going to go through just to get you prepared for it. If anybody's ever considering graduate school, just a little list here. And so, just a disclaimer, I didn't pass graduate school. Nope. I went, I tried, and I failed. But I'm going back. I'm going to try again. And I feel like this time I'm going to pass. And so just from my experience, here are some tips. Because these are kind of like a list of to-dos so that you can be very successful as a graduate student. So first on my list is research graduate schools. You want to research graduate schools because you want to compare programs. You know, what fits you the most. I know that some programs are based on theory, some programs are based on, it just depends. And so depending on what you want to get your master's in, you want to see what the focus is of that particular graduate school and that program. You also want to research the faculty. You want to research what kind of teachers are teaching these classes. Do they have PhDs, like things of that nature? You want to research the program, the field that you're trying to go into, because a lot of the time, well, not a lot of the times, but some of the time, you may not need to get a master's. You may just need to get a certificate. So that's something to think about. Number 2, look to see if they require any kind of tests or anything like that, specifically the GRE. For me, it was important for me to not take the GRE. I already took the ACT. I'm not taking no GRE, period. So I looked up programs that didn't require the GRE. Financial assistance, graduate assistantships, tuition waivers. So my alma mater, Illinois State University, they had graduate assistantships for my program, which means that you work for the school for about 20 hours. Some are 10, some are 15, but most of them are 20 hours. And you work in the student-centered departments, such as the career center, such as tutoring, things of that nature. And they will waive your tuition. You only have to pay like the fee, which for Illinois State was like $1,000. And you can get a loan for that if you need to. Or tuition waivers or scholarships. I know that specifically Illinois State University, as well as Northern Illinois, has a scholarship for you to have your tuition waived. So if you don't get a graduate assistantship, no need to worry. Look for scholarships. You need to look for scholarships anyway, just in case. Because even if you have a tuition waiver, you can still get a scholarship, and that's just extra pocket money. But you want to spend it on school-related stuff. You don't want to be buying bundles and stuff like that. You want to think about your statement of purpose, your purpose statement. A lot of colleges, a lot of graduate schools ask you to write an essay. You want to pour your heart out. Why do you need to be in this program at this specific school? What drew you to this type of field? Because like a lot of times when you're getting your master's, that's the field. Really, it's so specific. It's the field you want to go into. And it's the same thing with getting your undergrad, but master's is very specific because you spend a lot of time talking about one subject instead of a range of subjects like you do as an undergrad. So you want to make sure your statement of purpose is like very personal. I poured my heart and soul out from my purpose statement. And I think that's what got me in, because if you had like bad grades, like I didn't as an undergrad, but as a graduate student, I failed. I never failed before, as I mentioned in my last podcast. And so I had bad grades. And so I had to explain that. You want to make sure you're touching on everything. And then with that, okay, I had bad grades. This is why, and this is what I'm going to do to make sure that I don't have bad grades as I come in as a graduate student to your program. Interview. You want to prepare for your interview like you would a job, because they're going to ask you questions, and you want to make sure that you are very knowledgeable of the program, as well as very knowledgeable of why you want to join that program. So once you get in, stay focused. That's like number 1. Keep your eye on the prize. As an undergrad, you can be involved in all types of clubs and fraternities and sororities and groups and this and that and the third. As a graduate student, I'm not saying you can't do that stuff. I'm saying keep your eye on the prize, because it's a little bit harder. You got to devote more time. It's less classes, but more work and more detailed work. More work that you can't just do in 5 minutes. This is work you have to spend time on. So you want to stay focused. Stay organized. So that's one of my biggest attributes, that's like my thing, is being very organized. As anybody who knows me knows, I'm super organized. Color-coded planners, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm super organized. And so that was like a benefit to me to have that skill. Not everybody is like that. You need to get like that. Not exactly on my level, but you need to get like that, because I have a type A personality, and I know that that's not like the reality for everybody, but you want to make sure that you're organized, because it is a lot going on. Like, you may have 3 assignments for each class, because in grad school you usually take like 3 classes, and so you have an assignment for each class. But for this class, you have to meet up with your group, you know, at this time. So it's like a lot of different parts moving. So you want to make sure that you're staying organized. Connecting with your cohort, connecting with your peers. I'm going to be honest, I didn't like my cohort. I mean, I liked certain people in there, you know, certain people, but I didn't like everybody, because my cohort was super competitive, and it just was, I didn't like I'm a big, like, I do not like entitled people. I don't like arrogant people. I don't like people who think they're better than other people. That's like my thing. If you want to like grind my gears, be entitled, be arrogant, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't like that. So it was hard for me to connect with certain members of my cohort, but the people that I did, it really helped out a lot. They had my back. So just connect with your peers and your cohort if you can. If not, try to find a community outside of that. Time management. You need to guard your time. You need to know when to say no. Oh, can you join this committee for this? Oh, it's okay. It's important to have your hand in different things outside of class, but not a whole lot. Because like I mentioned, grad school is different than undergrad. You can't have, you know, it's not like, you know, being on the student government and being a fraternity or sorority and being in a registered student organization. I'm trying not to use ISU acronyms because they're not universal, but you're going to have a lot going on with these classes. So keep it to a minimum. I'm just being honest. Stay healthy, eat, sleep, exercise. As I mentioned in my last podcast, that was not a priority for me. Eating, sleeping, and exercising was not a priority. Once it became a problem, I started drinking like protein shakes. I had to take sleeping pills, and I started going to yoga. So those are different things that I did to try to get me up to date. But from jump, you want to make that a priority, because just as much as you got to get this paper done, you got to eat, sleep, and exercise. Let's see here. Communicate with professors. Go to office hours. Ask questions. If you don't understand something, ask questions. It's not like undergrad, like I said, where you can just BS it. You have to ask questions if you don't understand it. I wasn't really that good at that. Some of my professors intimidated me, and I didn't really like them. Some of them, just because of how they, I don't know, choose to say things, was kind of, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm a big advocate for that. I'm learning it myself, but like, you know, I wasn't comfortable talking to them. But you want to ask questions. You want, even if you're not feeling them, still go to their office hours. If you're not understanding something, I'm pretty sure they'll be more than happy to ask you. Be more than happy to answer questions. I'm sorry. Mental health is key. It's key. And y'all know I'm big on that. That's like my thing. That's what Mentally Queenin is all about. Mental health. I don't even know how much I can stress this to y'all. Mental health is key. Make sure you take care of your noggin, because it can get out of whack and have you thinking things you don't need to be thinking, have you doing things you don't need to be doing. So just keep your mental health in check. Make it a priority. I'm not going to go too much into that, because I have the tendency when it comes to talking about mental health to just overdo it, to over talk about it, but it's very important. And y'all can listen to my other podcasts to see how much mental health means to me. Utilize campus resources, tutoring, the career center, counseling, all of that. Utilize it. Get to know the campus, church, all of that. Get to know the campus. Don't just be a number. Actually get involved. Get acquainted with the community. As I mentioned, you can volunteer with your time. Do things that's positive with your time. You can go to church, stuff like that. So get involved with your community. 15, and I ain't been saying the numbers. I kind of messed up, but I ain't going to start all the way over. Failure is part of life. Don't take it personally. Take it with stride. Don't take it as a grain of salt. I mean, take it seriously, but don't take it personally, because it's going to be times where you get a C maybe on the paper. I'm not going to say that that's going to happen to you, but it could. You know, don't take it personally. Just learn from it. That's why you need to go to office hours and ask questions. Number 16, get involved. Like I mentioned, you don't want to have your hand in too many different things, but you can join the club, join the, you know, where they do, you know, graduation. You can help out with stuff like that. You can study abroad. You can participate in different volunteer activities or different, you know, seminars or things like that that's going on campus. Get that experience. I'm not telling you not to do anything outside of class, because leadership is important. So getting involved is very important, but you just want to be very strategic with that. Be very strategic with your time. That's where time management comes in, and that's where saying no to some things comes into. If you already got too much on your plate, you don't have room for no more when it comes to graduate school. This is a good one. Value, critique, and advice. So I'm learning this as I go to. You want to take it and learn from it. Not every thing is true that they say about you, but like in school, if they're saying, hey, you need to work on this, or you can do better in this area, you need to work on that, because if they're telling you, okay, you're good at this, but this is what you need to work on, you need to take that and you need to run with it, and you need to work on it, because what they're saying is, you know, you're good here, but to get here, you need to work on this. You feel me? Set goals daily. Set goals. And what I mean by set goals, I mean like eat 3 times a day, drink water, study. I mean, in grad school, some programs have tests, mine don't. But so I wouldn't be technically studying, but I would be reading up on things to help me improve my paper, so that my sources and my ideas and all of that is backed up. So you want to plan out your day every day. That's going to help you a lot in grad school. I know it's hard, but finding a schedule and sticking to it is one of the best things you can do. That was one of my pluses. I mean, I didn't pass, like I said, but I know for sure my day was planned out. So I just didn't spend enough time trying to improve. I was kind of very bare minimum, you know, and that had a lot to do with my depression. You can listen to my last podcast about that. I'm not going to go into it, but my day was planned out until I ran into depression. Find a mentor. My mentor, Nicole. She's in a different sorority. She's actually, I'm not going to call it my rival sorority. We like to make it that, but that's not what it is. She's the AKA. I'm a member of the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, but that's my mentor. Like, she was in the same program that I failed in, but she's still my mentor. I'm going to a different school. She's still my mentor. Like, she helped me out a lot. She took the same classes I took. She helped me out a lot. And now I'm going to a different school. That's still my mentor. So find you a mentor. Number 20, believe in yourself. So these are my 20 tips for making it in grad school. Believe in yourself. Because like I mentioned in my last podcast, I did not believe in myself. I didn't believe I deserved to be there. That had what you think has a large impact on how you move. So if you ain't thinking right, you ain't going to be moving right. So wish me luck this semester. I mean, I'm probably going to go to Northern in the fall. If you currently attend or going to be attending Northern, reach out to me. I'm going to reach out to you. I would like to meet some new people. But those are my tips. So